All right, we're recording. All right. All right. As you know that the American dollar is losing its strength in the world market as other countries are moving away from it. The American dollar is not based on gold like it used to be. It's based on the petrodollar. What that means that in the 1970, Henry Kissinger and Nixon went to Saudi Arabia and the Arab Gulf, and they said, "Listen, we got to peg the dollar. You got a deal. You got to sell your oil in the American dollar." That gave it a lot of credential, gave it a lot of power. So the American dollar is called the petrodollar. If it loses that, then it loses its essence. And if it loses its value as an international currency, these sanctions, all these crazy sanctions against countries and embargoes would not work no more. And the American dollar and wealth would be, gone as we know it. So what's going on here? There's a movement there by Russia and China. Russia and China and Saudi Arabia is playing a dangerous game. The last time somebody talked about not using the American dollar with Saddam Hussein. He's dead. Gaddafi's dead. So the crown prince of Saudi Arabia better be careful because you're dealing with people's wealth here. Trillions and trillions of dollars of wealth. America's in debt. They're not going to take no shit, so stop fucking around with that. So Donald Trump, he just makes a lot of sense, but in this one, he made a lot of sense where he warned of what the dollar would be like. In his own way, he really did. Let's listen what he has to say.
With Saudi Arabia through China. And China's taken over. And China, I heard a couple of people say, well, the dollar will never lose the dollar standard. Are they kidding?
Right.
China wants to change the standard, the currency standard. And if that happens, that's like losing a world war.
Yep.
We'll be a second-tier country. We'll literally be a second-tier country if that happens. Now, you're losing Brazil.
Right.
You're losing Colombia, South America. You're losing Iran. You've lost it.
Lost it 40 years ago.
You've lost Russia.
Right.
And if you haven't lost them yet, you're going to lose them. China's on the yuan, so China's gone. Then you see France going over. No, what's going on? We're losing. If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war.
Of course.
Our currency is what makes us powerful and strong. And this was unthinkable during the Trump administration.
You see, I disagree with Trump on everything he says. I think he's a piece of shit. He's a grifter. He's a liar. In this interview, which was crazy, if you look at the whole interview, he's crazy. He doesn't make any sense. But in this one segment, he made a lot of sense. The American dollar is supreme. Without the people dealing in the American dollar through international trade and buying goods with American dollar, it's worthless. Our money is worthless. The American dollar is based on our missiles and our nuclear weapons. It's not based on gold. We don't have nothing because we're the baddest guy. We're the baddest boy in the block. We don't have nothing to back our dollar, and we print this money like crazy. We print $4 trillion, $5 trillion like it's nothing. So the whole idea is that if they manage to wrestle away the importance of the American dollar, then it's a dangerous. I think it will destabilize the United States as a country. The United States might collapse as a country because it's dependent on its economy to keep all these crazy factions and ethnicities and religious beliefs and political dissent, all that stuff. What glues together is the American dollar. Because people have a mortgage, you have a car mortgage, you have things, people are still making a living, our lifestyle is good. But once that American dollar loses its value, it's worthless. If no one takes it, money is about who uses it. If people refuse to take it, it's like a paper, it's worthless. If I go with American dollar and it's worthless at the market, I'm like, I don't want it, then what I'm going to do with it? Nothing. Wipe my ass with it, I guess. So he's right about that. We are moving toward a dangerous movement here. A lot of nations are moving away from using the American dollar or trying to undermine our economy by stop using the American dollar because we've been fucking around too much. We have so many countries under sanctions, embargo for no shit, like Venezuela. Venezuela, the only reason we have sanction is because some people want their oil. That's all. We have no problem with Venezuela. So when you put sanction on all these countries, in the end, people are going to say, I'm next. Russia is under sanction. So Saudi Arabia, like, yo, we're going to be next. So they're going to try to pull the rug from under the American currency.
And if I saw Macron do that, I would have called him. I would have said, you know what? No more wine into the.
Macron, he did that before. Macron is in China. I don't know what the fuck he's doing in China. I don't know. There's something going on. I don't know.
United States, no more champagne into the. And I had that with him. You know, I had Steve Mnuchin, a good guy, was unable to make a deal with France. France is very difficult, I will tell you.
Yeah.
They're all difficult because every country rips us off.
Yeah.
But France is, in particular, very difficult. And you probably heard where they want to charge American companies substantial tax to do business in France. So I had Mnuchin working on it and other people working. They were unable to do it. They called me back. This for a couple of months. They could not do it. I said, let me have Macron get him on the phone. I said, listen, I understand you're going to tax American companies for
True.
doing business in France. Here's the story. On Monday morning, if you don't drop this, on Monday morning was Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a 100% tariff on every bottle of champagne and every bottle of wine
true,
that
he
comes
did that.
into the
He did
United
say
States
that.
of
It's true.
America. He says, no, that's not fair. I said, of course it's fair. You're charging American companies for going to France and doing business in France, a very big tax. So all of your wine, very good wine, but I think we make wine that's just as good.
Right.
All of your wine and
He's
all
gone
of your
off script.
champagne that
He
comes
does
in,
that.
I'm putting a
You have HGB,
100%
whatever it is.
tax on. That's it. So good luck. Monday morning at 9 o'clock. That was it. I get a call back 15 minutes later.
Okay, let me get off Donald Trump off his dick energy moment. So, like I said, this is the only time I have ever agreed with Donald Trump as a person or as a politician. What's going on right now in the world is a movement to destabilize the American dollar. Very simple and very dangerous.